So it's a little snack cake, and that's actually Shakespeare we have printed on there.
Sure. Why wouldn't you? Well, hey there, and welcome to a brand new episode of Delivering Marketing Joy. I am your host, Kirby Hasseman. Joining me today is a brand new rock star. We've talked a couple times, but this is our first time really spending some time together. I'm really excited about it. She's the managing partner at Branded Treats, Lisa Fosdick. Thanks so much for joining me.
Hi, Kirby. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be on the show. I'm really excited. I'm a little nervous, but I'm excited to be here and chat with you. Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. You're going to do great. You're going to do great. So let's start and talk about something that you're excited about. So what is a project you're working on right now that has you totally fired up, and why?
I love that question. So Branded Treats is an emerging supplier, and we are working hard on product development. And I heard a speech that Charity Gibson gave around not logoing merchandise and using imagery and inspirational messaging instead of logos. I love that. I live that in my life. I believe in quotes and sayings and sharing joy and sharing messaging. So we've created a series of icons. You know, this is our standard smiley face. We have thank you messaging. You are amazing. We've created a whole suite of inspirational messaging that you can add a logo to. So we want that inspirational message to be the lead, and then the logo to be the complement to the message. So we're fired up about that.
Yeah.
And then we just launched a new line of mini snack cakes, which is kind of nostalgic. They're like a ring ding or a ding dong that we can put a logo on. And they look like this. So it's a little snack cake, and that's actually Shakespeare we have printed on there.
Sure. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, so that's just a couple things that we're super excited about.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, so yeah, I definitely see what Charity's talking about as a trend. And I love, by the way, Charity ringing that bell a lot, because I do think that we as an industry, sometimes it's like we're just so happy to just slap a logo on it. And I think that if we want to create merchandise that people want to wear, want to share, want to eat, all that sort of thing, we want to create a message that they can rally behind and then tie that to our brand. So I think that's super cool. Okay, so who are some people that inspire you to be better, and how do they do that?
I love this question too. I'll mention Charity again. You know, she's the consummate social media maven. She's a public speaker. You know, I love watching her, and I try to emulate a lot of the tips that she shares. You know, I'm an old cat in the industry. You know, I've been around 30 plus years. So I'm always learning, and I'm always grateful for the tips that she shares. And another person that I really admire is Alex Morin. I don't know if you know him. He was with Debco, and he went out on his own like I did. You know, I left Hub and made a few detours, and then went out and took the leap to join Branded Treats as a managing partner. And Alex started almost enlightened, and he has promo noise. You know, risk takers. Charity's a risk taker. Alex is pushing boundaries. Our industry needs this. And the other person I really admire right now, well, there's many, Kirby, is Michael Scott Cohen from Harper Scott. I've done a few projects in blockchain for some industry folks and outside of the industry. And him, along with John Norris, I just saw a talk with John Norris, just around technology, you know, pushing our industry to not fall behind, you know, and stay ahead of what's happening. It's like the .com world all over again. There's all these accelerated developments, and I admire the people who are brave enough to have that voice in our industry and push it forward. So those are just a few. I admire many, many people, but those are a few.
Those are really good ones. And one of the things, and I know 3/4 of those folks. And one of the things I love is I think that you think of them as independent thinkers. You mentioned that
Mhm.
they're pushing envelope, and I think that the world needs more independent thinkers, and so I think that that's a group of that. So I like that group that you just shared. So, what are some things that you struggle with or maybe have struggled with in the past? I find that that is a telling, something, because I think we all struggle with different things. So, what are some things maybe
Mhm.
you've struggled with and how have you overcome them or try to?
Love that question too. Not to share too much personal stuff, but I didn't finish high school.
Mm,
I got a job at a distributorship when I was in high school doing
mm,
shipping and receiving.
mm.
And I went out on the road for them at 19, and I was
Wow.
Counselor Magazine Salesperson of the Year in 1992.
Wow.
So that is all great, but when people start talking about, oh, where did you go to school
Oh,
or, education, I'm a lifelong learner, Kirby. I'm always learning and, getting certified in digital marketing and things like that. But I have to overcome that crisis of confidence I feel in a room full of
yeah,
hyper educated people.
totally.
So I work hard at my confidence, staying
Mm,
confident and believing in what I believe in and continuing to take risks. And some of the people that have helped me with that is an executive coach that I hired to help me
wow.
sort of get into like, why do I trip myself up sometimes? So
Mhm.
that's helpful. And I belong to a women's leadership group that has calls,
Yeah.
and Ronnie Wright is part of that group. And she is such a light,
Yes, agreed.
So the people that I mentioned, I look to them as a way to overcome my self talk, my self doubt, and when I get in my head in a negative space,
Mm,
I listen to an almost enlightened, or I look back at
yeah.
an email Ronnie might have sent. So I try to stay positive always.
Yeah. Can I just say thank you for being so candid? That's really interesting. And I think what's couple things that pop into my head is number one, I think we all have that voice, right? I talk about this a lot that we all have that voice that says we're not good enough, we're not smart enough, and
Hmm.
doggone it, people don't like us, right? And so I think it's important that when we get that negative talk, like you're talking about, that you realize, hey, it's not me, it's not real. That's helpful. Um, and then the other thing you mentioned, lifelong learning. I think the thing that's become very true to me is there's a big difference between learning and education.
Hmm.
Learning we do for ourselves. Education is something that other people do to us. Um, I mean, for real. Like,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so I think kudos to you for continuing your journey on lifelong learning. So I really appreciate that. That was really cool, Lisa. That's awesome. So, final question. You're doing great. What is another organization or creator or business or whatever that's doing good work that you're impressed with and why?
Again, so many, Kirby,
Yeah,
in
yeah,
our industry right now,
yeah.
right? Like, so many people are doing great things, and like I want to just say, this industry has given me a wonderful life, a
Mhm.
wonderful lifestyle. I've been able to raise my girls in the business, owning my own
Wow.
distributorship. So yeah, I just want to say that this industry gives all levels of folks an opportunity for success, and
Yeah.
that's one of the things I deeply love about it.
Mm.
And hearing that your daughter's joining your company. My daughter does all the marketing for branded treats. I
That's
love
awesome.
the legacy part of it,
Yeah.
that we're giving our kids these opportunities. So, anyway, organizations would be PPEF.
Love it.
Um, I love that the scholarship programs are out there, that the committees that are running that organization are passionate and dedicated. And, Meg Erber and that team that created the concert series, like,
Yes.
what a brilliant, brilliant way to reinvent fundraising.
Yeah.
So I love that forward thinking. So that's an organization that I deeply believe in and would like to be part of that volunteer
Nice.
group someday. And NEPA,
Mm,
NEPA, the New England Promotional Products Association here,
yeah.
the board the past years through COVID has just been incredible.
Mm,
Um, They put on some new shows. We just did a winter show yesterday, and it was fantastic, very well attended. As an emerging supplier, we can't afford Vegas. We can't
Right.
afford some of the bigger shows or the EME meetings and things like that. So deep appreciation for the regionals and giving people an alternative to the big shows. Not that they're not great, they
Yeah.
are, and I want to be there.
Mhm.
Those are the organizations right now that are super meaningful to me is PPEF and NEPA.
Those are great. Those are great. I'm really proud. I'm a brand new board member of PPEF, so I love hearing
Oh,
that.
awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
So that was not planned. So that was really cool. Real quickly, Lisa, great job today. Where can folks find more information about branded treats?
Brandedtreats.com.
I
Super
love it.
easy. We're in ASI and Sage, and you can always email me personally, Lisa@brandedtreats.com. We're also on Facebook and LinkedIn. So
Love it.
we're out there.
Cool. Well, Lisa, thank you so much for taking the time. I really appreciate you doing it. We'll have to do it again sometime, okay?